Did you know that a comic book is composed of many layers? For those that do not, almost all comics are the result of a process performed by a group of people. Each person on that group has a specific task which helps in producing the best results. On this episode, we will introduce the layers of a comic and briefly the people that contribute in its creation. We will explain their roles and their importance in this process, while we try to see if by removing any of these layers would affect the outcome. So, how many layers does a comic have? Speaking in numbers, at least 5. But since we are talking specifics, let us view each of these layers along with their corresponding specialist. Script, story, scenario, or simply the idea. The person in charge being the script writer, who is also in charge for writing it and explaining it. The role of the script writer is more critical than many people think. A series based on a poor scenario has more chances to go unnoticed and get cancelled, especially taking in consideration how the comic industry works. Visualizing on paper a script or scenario is the job of the sketch artist. Through his work, the sketch artist creates the characters and the environment, offering to the reader presence and action. Inking is the stage in which a sketch has inks added. Responsible for this procedure is the inker, whose duty is to add ink on the sketch artist's line, adding expression and power. Likewise, colors add tension, rhythm, and emotional charge. Responsible for this layer is the colorist. For the finishing touch, the letter artist is responsible for adding balloons and text, providing the dialogue as well as the sound effects. In addition, there is also the cover artist, who is responsible for creating the cover, giving a taste of what is to be expected inside the pages of the comic book. Are all these layers necessary? Perhaps a better rephrasing of the above question would be if we need all these people. It sounds more probable if we assume, for example, that the scriptwriter is also the sketch artist or any of the above we mentioned. Sounds logical and not at all impossible, but with one essential difference: time. As with any other industry, the comics industry wants results within a specific time schedule. So, it's in their best interest to have a team of people for any given comic book title in order to produce the comic as soon as possible. One needs to keep in mind that the comics industry spans several decades, meaning that during this amount of time it had a chance to experiment and develop some standards while maturing and trying to stay alive. Of course, that doesn't mean that there are no exceptions to this rule. Such examples are most commonly found in independent publications or comic strips or the internet. However, for better or worse, as is during this time period, this is how it goes. This is it for now. We reached the end of this episode. We wait for your comments. Bye for now.